Okay, recording.
Okay, as stated, I sent through the syllabus, but we're just going to go slightly off-piste in the fact that the order, we're going to get all the grappling work done before I move on to kicks and knees. So the grappling work constitutes the continued growth as a martial artist, where we look at trap and roll escapes. If someone is on top of me, how do I get them off me and get back to my feet? We're going to look at the defensive work, so that was the rear naked choke from being on top of someone, and a rear naked choke from being underneath someone. But it's also the positional control. If I'm on top in a dominant position, how I can do damage, again, with the aim of getting back up to my feet. So everything is always trying to get back up to my feet. I'm not trying to engage in a grappling competition. I want to know enough so I can be safe, but I don't need to know lots if I'm not well versed in the realms of the ground karate, as it were. So, Isaac, if you would please take to the floor. And I'm going to positional control. I'll just take my sweaty top off. If you could just rotate so your head's down there, and then I shall face. So, I'm going to start from side control. When I'm in side control, I want my solar plexus to almost be over his, and I want to make him carry my weight. So as I'm here, I'm not going to be sitting on my butt, I'm going to be sitting on my toes, and Isaac should slowly start to feel a bit of pressure, and I can sort of almost squeeze the air out of his lungs while I'm here.
Yeah.
But I'm not, thank you, but I'm not going to sit here and idly let Isaac start to do this, and then frame, he might scissor, escape, whatever. I'm not going to do that because, again, I'm not grappling. So from here, it's elbows. If I can control and get closer, it's punches, it's backward elbows, it's rolling elbows, and I'm pushing all the way, all my body. And again, if I'm doing this nastily, and I'll just only do it for a few seconds, I'm pushing all my weight, and he's carrying all of my weight. My toes are merely there for base. Even if I switch my hips, I'm pushing all my weight. Again, I've got nothing here. Isaac's carrying. Oh, sorry, Isaac. From side control, I want to slowly and methodically try and work my way to a more dominant position. So I keep my knees in tight, elbows are free, and arm under the head, controlling the head so he can't pop his hips up. And then I'm going to knee on belly and transition into a mount. Keeping everything tight, my heels are tucked in under his butt, and again, I'm not grappling, I'm just smashing elbows down, throwing obscure angled, short, sharp punches up through the guard, making him work constantly to not be able to initiate a grappling anything on me. His focus should solely be on stopping elbows, short, sharp punches, the whole nine. If you do just pop your hips up, I need to go out for base. Again, I need to recognise I need to be in a position where I need to stop myself being rolled off and re-engaged in that grappling contest. From mount, I need to get a knee almost onto the belly. I sit and I get knee on belly if I can, so I can push off and get back out. So I'm almost, I don't want to just stand up and leave myself in a very, very, very vulnerable position. I don't want to just stand up. I need to disengage properly where I'm still safe and I'm still out for base and I can still base out, but I also need to make sure I keep him down to the last minute until I can get up. The same for side control. Again, if I make him wear my weight and I'm throwing elbows from all different angles, again, pushing off the person to stand back up. I don't want to get up lazily and just make sure that he can follow me. I need to make it a real effort, so when I'm in side control and I'm pushing off the person to get back up, it's an effort for me, but it's a lot more of an effort for them. So I get back up, short, sharp, quick, and I exit as quickly as I possibly can. Okay, so one last one before we move on to guard. Side control. Short, sharp elbows. I can switch base, make him carry the weight. If I transition, I come in tight, I can go behind the head or under, out for base, knee on belly. Hooks in underneath his butt, continue to throw punches. I'm looking to disengage. I make sure that I've got a good base, make sure that I can control him, and then get back up. The last one is if I'm in his guard. If he knows a little bit about grappling, he's going to try and kick his knees towards and bring me down so he can start pulling me. So I need a straight back, and I need to make sure that I'm focusing on making sure that I have posture. He does not break my posture by pulling me in. And then now I'm in a grappling whatever, and I'm a lot more vulnerable to chokes, locks, or being reversed into a non-dominant position. So I'm throwing punches, keeping him active, keeping him engaged in defense. Push my hands on his hips, knee into the butt, kick back. The guard comes out. If I'm going to start grappling, I can do a double underhook pass, but again, we're not going to necessarily teach grappling, so I'm just going to pass the guard by the legs are open, so I'm just going to push down on the leg, slide through, back into the side control, and then I can disengage how we said before. Coming up through, elbows, keeping it nice and tight, pushing off the person, getting ready to start the fight back on the feet. Okay, if we could face that way just a little bit. So I'm in the guard, it's here, throw punches, I keep a straight posture, try not to break, hands on the hips, knee into the butt, kick back, throw in some more punches, push the leg down, slide through into the side control, and then again, keeping things tight, pushing off the person, and now I'm back out. Disengaging, completely neglecting anything to do with grappling, making sure my focus is on control. Thank you, Isaac, for that one. So that one was the positional control, throwing the elbows, making sure I'm in the dominant position, making sure that he's got way too much to think about before it starts to get into like jiu-jitsu territory. Okay, moving on to, defense, yeah. So we're going to take the back from the ground. So Isaac, could you lie down again, please? Isaac's going to be trying to get to his feet now. I don't want to disengage, I just want to smash his face in. So from here, I'm just smashing. Isaac's going to try and roll to his feet, and I stay in the base and I keep smashing. I get my hooks in and I get a seatbelt grip. And now I can roll with him, and as I roll, I can throw that choke in under his chin and rear naked choke Isaac. Okay? So before we go through that again, the rear naked choke is going to be under the chin, and I'm going to grab my own bicep, hand behind the head, and then I'm going to try and lock my hand in with my head. If he pulls my hand out, the choke becomes less threatening, and he might still be able to get out of the choke. So he's going to be fighting the hand. So to stop that, I trap the hand. This hand's already trapped by this forearm, and now all I've got to do is bring the elbows together and breathe, and then we get the choke through to his carotid arteries. But again, it's not jiu-jitsu. I'm just looking for an opportunity, and then when Isaac taps, or if you tap, from Jake, we'll only do it lightly, I'm going to then disengage, because again, I need to get to the feet. I don't want to just lie on the ground and just wait for something bad to happen or something to happen. I'm going to be positive about it and just disengage, get back up off the feet. So, we're in the position where Isaac's on the ground again, and I'm in a dominant position this time, and I'm now continuing to positional control. But Isaac won't let that happen. I stay out for base. I make sure that before he can get to his feet, I roll, I sink the choke in, and then as he goes to get to his feet, I make sure that I control him in any way I can. I don't just let him reawaken and get back up. I make sure that I control how I want him to get up. I don't just let the choke go and go, ah, yeah, fair play. Maybe Isaac just goes tap, 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 and then starts to smash me. So I need to make sure that if he's not unconscious, that I still treat him as like a wild animal and making sure that I control his position. I'm controlling his position the whole time. Smashing, making sure that, again, I'm controlling position. I make sure that I get a control position before I do anything. Sink in, control, control. Smash, smash, and back up. Okay? I don't want to be in a hurry to get up. If I mess up, so let's play this one out. If I mess up, I need to just make sure that I stay where I am. So I can't get the choke in, he's fighting it, I'm still in a dominant position. Let him fight the choke. And then again, I'm going to make sure that I'm doing damage the whole time. The whole time. If I need to, I'm going to switch. Boom, I'm back in the position of control. And then from here I can get up, whatever, and just make sure that I'm still not going. I'm going to force you into a ground control that I have got relatively little experience in compared to others. So know my strengths, work towards my strengths, make sure I'm safe enough, and just disengage when I know that either I'm out of my depth or I've got an opportunity to get out. Now we're going to look at the rear naked choke from the other way. So I'm in a really bad position now. So I'm on the ground. Isaac, is his ankle okay? By the way, I can move. As long as you guys can see sort of where we are. So I need to make sure that I need to get out from underneath where I am currently. I need Isaac to sort of almost be doing damage to me first. So from here, where he is, I need to lean up, and then I'm going to need to get out, because at the moment I can't get out from underneath him. So his legs need to disappear. So I'm going to just pop a leg out and elbow escape. And then I'm going to pop another leg out, and now I'm in a guard. Now from here I need a bit of space. So Isaac, if you want to try and sit up. From here I'm going to take one arm, I'm going to put it over, and I'm going to re-clinch. So now I'm in a better position. Okay, but I can't let this go now, because now I'm going to lose everything. I need to adjust, take one leg and thread it, and now I've almost got the back. All I've got to do now from here is sit up, and I've got the back, and now I can either drag him down or roll through. Okay, but for the purpose of the camera, let's roll this way. So now I swap arms, rear naked choke, and we're back to exactly where we were before. If he fights his hand before I get it through, again, I'm just going to hold on to this position. I'm in a really good position. You could finish the choke with one hand by squeezing up, but again, if he's let go of that hand, I'm not grappling, I'm making sure that he's defending constantly, and then I can go back to working my way up. Cool, thank you, Isaac. So if we go through that one more time, we're going to go through, I do a slightly different angle. Is that angle alright on that one, Nanny, from here? Yeah. So from here, I'm in a really bad position. He's got full mount. I'm going to bear hug, and again, I need to get rid of these hooks. Pop the elbow, escape in, come through, get the other leg, come through, keeping hold of the person. If I let go, he's got that dominant position. So I need to make sure that I bring him through, and then I've got nice, good control of his person. I'm going to pick one arm, so a little bit of space, swing one arm around, re-clench, shrimp out, tuck that leg through. Now I've got the back, and work to the choke. If I can't get the rear naked choke, I go back to the remount, and I go back to doing the damage, and then looking to disengage and get back to my feet. Cool, thank you, Isaac. So that's the defensive work. We're looking for that rear naked choke from the bottom, from the top. But we're also looking, more importantly, than the rear naked choke itself, getting back to our feet. I need to get back to my feet. That's what we're training for 9 times out of 10. So that's the defensive part of that grading syllabus sent through. We're just going to quickly stick with the grappling and go through the continual growth as a martial artist. So this section was for a move from another martial art that we're going to integrate into our syllabus. So each time someone becomes a 4th degree here, we want to keep adding, taking from the Bruce Lee train of thought, that if we see something good in a different martial art, we should absolutely add it if it directly relates to what we need to do. This one does. I need to get back to my feet. Okay, so from here, we're going to do what's called a trap and roll, and this comes from the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu world. So from here, we'll try and do it in a few different angles. So I'm on the bottom again, and Isaac is sat on top. For the purposes of safety, we're going to stop at a certain point and make sure Isaac's hands are safe from being snapped and hyperextended, so we won't go full speed on this one for his safety, to make sure that the wrist is safe. So Isaac's in dominant position, I pop my hips up and I go through the bear hug. I swim myself up, I trap one arm and one leg. I make sure that Isaac is your hand facing my shoulder blade. So we don't want the hand to extend, so when we roll, his hand is safe. I tuck everything in, I'm going to push my arm over and pop my hips and roll. I keep my head low, and again I work for the damage. Posture up, work for the damage. If the guard is in here, hips on, knee to the butt, step back and disengage. So when I do the trap and roll, I'm not looking to pass, I'm not looking to get into some sort of grappling situation where I'm doing locks and chokes. My mind is always get out of it, get back up, get out of it, get back up. Okay, so if we go from a slightly different angle, just for the sake of being thorough, he's on top, pop the hips, grab, swim up, swim an arm. Is your hand okay? Hips over, stay low. Try and create a bit of distance. Posture, hands on hips. Break the guard and get back up. Okay? If we do one more time, we'll go this way. Still looking right, Pete? Okay. Okay. Cool. One last one. We'll just do one more. Which angle haven't we done? That way. Yeah, that way. Oops, sorry. Okay. Yeah. Cool. And that concludes that grappling part, integration into our syllabus. Thank you again, Isaac. Much appreciated. So we're going to stop, and when we come back, we'll go on to kicks and knees. Thank you. Oh.